You've been working in radio for nearly 20 years. Do you see yourself continuing on the Breakfast Club for another 5, 10 years?
Who knows? I just feel like everything is so up in the air. Like I have a lot of great things happening. And so I think if the situation is right, I feel like, what we've learned from this pandemic too, is that you can do like hybrid things where you can work from home. Sometimes we've been able to work from on the road. And so if I'm able to do things that I need to do for myself while still continuing, because more than anything, I love my job because I love the people who listen to the show. And so it feels like a family thing. So it's really sad when you don't get to, people come up to me and they feel like they know me because they listen to the show.
Hmm.
We can have conversations. They know what's going on in your life. They can ask me for advice. And so I love that. And so that's something that I feel like I would never not want to have. But radio, I think, is really fun and exciting. People always say, oh, radio is going to be dead soon and da 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 da. But, they've been saying that forever now.
Oh yeah, no, you guys have evolved. Started off radio, went globally syndicated on Revolt. We have the YouTube channel. So it started with one platform, but I think because you guys have progressed so much, you're reaching new audiences and growing.
Yeah, and it's also growing with the times, right? You see where people are at and you meet them there. And so you see everybody's online. People like to watch clips. People love YouTube. And so you just have to make sure, because we weren't even putting our show on YouTube at first. You just have to make sure that you pay attention to what's happening and not try to be that grumpy person that's like, I don't want to do this modern technology. You have to make sure that you're on top of those things or you'll get left behind.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things I love is that you guys definitely are on YouTube, so it's on demand. I watch the interviews from beginning to end. I mean, if it's an interview, like, because, people do press runs, I'll watch it on the Breakfast Club because I know you guys are honest. We know the personalities, and, you're going to get a really raw, honest take from folks. So, I'm happy to hear that you guys will continue to stick together. But, we also see you guys branching out, like you said, Envy with real estate and cars, Charlemagne with all things media, and you with all of these businesses. So, that's always just like, I think a lot of people think about that. Like, has everyone renewed their contract? Is this something that's going to keep going? Or will you guys like sort of separate and go your separate ways?
Yeah, I think Envy and Charlemagne, they've renewed their contracts already. So ours are staggered. So mine is next up.
Okay, well, I know you're going to negotiate the best deal possible for yourself. And, speaking of the Breakfast Club, it is something else that I think a lot of us think about was, if one of you guys were to leave, do you think it will continue to thrive? Or do you think that, God forbid, if something happens to it, they would have to just replace it with a whole new show and different vibe, like something completely different?
I think that people like when the three of us are together, but I would never think that things can't survive without a person there. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as a person who's irreplaceable, because we see it all the time, like on TV shows, and we see it on other radio shows. And so I think that you would get too comfortable if you thought that you could be somewhere forever and nothing could ever happen. You never know what could happen. So that's why it is important to have multiple things going on and multiple streams of income, so you're not reliant on any just one. And so I would never be vain enough to think that if I wasn't there, the show couldn't go on. If Charlemagne wasn't there, the show couldn't go on. If Envy wasn't there, I think it would be different, because we have been together, and that's a rare thing, to really have a radio show that goes on for as long as ours has, that hasn't been any of the people switch. Because a lot of radio shows, one person leaves, someone else comes in, they change it, and it happens all the time. So I think it would just take some adjusting, but I don't think it's out of the question.